You found me. You found Waldo. Good job. So Waldo's going to do your reading today of Wishtree. So we have Wishtree. I'm on chapter 14, page 53. And it's been a while, so let's go back and see what we were reading. So, let's see here. Oh, the mother and the daughter were walking by, and they saw in the tree someone wrote leave. Super not okay. So, we're thinking it's directed towards the girl Samar and her family. But let's find out. Chapter 14. Those houses, my houses. One painted blue, one painted green. One with a black door, one with a brown door. One with a yellow mailbox, one with a red mailbox. For well over a century, I stared at them. Prim and proper. Same small size, same boxy shape, same pitched roofs, and squat brick chimneys. Architectural siblings. Long before they were a glimmer in some builder's eyes, I was here. Right in the middle of things, and my roots stretched past the property line and separated them. Well, that's never been my concern. Roots can be unruly. Mine explored the earth below both houses, pirouetted around their plumbing, anchored their foundations. I spread my shade fairly. I dropped my leaves evenly. I bombed their roofs with acorns with equal numbers. I did not play favorites. Over the years, many families had called those houses home. Babies and teenagers, grandparents and grandparents, great-grandparents. They spoke Chinese and Spanish, Yoruba and English and French and Creole. They ate tamales and panipuri, dim sum and fufu, and grilled cheese sandwiches. Different languages, different food, different customs. That's our neighborhood. Wild and tangled and colorful, like the best kind of garden. It's kind of like America, though, right? We got all different kinds of cultures. A few months ago, a new family, Samar's family, rented the blue house. They were from a distant country. Their ways were unfamiliar. Their words held new music. Just another transplant in our messy garden, it seemed. Except that this time something changed. The air was uneasy. The parents in the greenhouse refused to welcome the new family. There were polite nods between the adults at first, but then even those vanished. Other things happened too. Someone threw raw eggs at the blue house. One afternoon, a car passed by filled with angry men yelling angry things. Things like Muslims, get out. Sometimes Samar would walk home trailed by children taunting her. I love people dearly, and yet 260 rings, I still haven't figured them out. Our neighborhood had welcomed many families from far away. What was different this time? So now we get a little background story that obviously they have been rude to Samar and her family already. People saying mean things and throwing raw eggs. Not okay. Not cool. The headscarf Samar's mother wore, or was it something else? As all this unfolded, busybody that I am, I kept tabs. Eavesdrops, observed. I never interfered, though. Trees are impartial observers. We are the strong and silent type. Besides, what could I possibly do? I had limbs, but they could merely sway. I had a trunk, but it was rooted to the earth. I had a voice, but it could not be used. My resources were limited. So, too, as it turned out, was my patience. So what would it look like if a tree lost its patience? Think about that for a second. Is he going to break one of his rules? Is he going to try to sway more? Is he going to speak? Is he going to do something with his roots? Think about it. Chapter 15. When you're the neighborhood Wishtree, people talk. It didn't take long for folks to learn about the ugly word carved into my trunk. People stopped to stare. They gathered in little groups. They grimaced and shook their heads and murmured. By lunchtime, the police had arrived. I am not, as it happens, a stranger to law enforcement. A pair of calico kittens reside across the street. They love climbing up my trunk into my uppermost branches. Unfortunately, they don't love climbing back down. In the last 2 months, Lewis and Clark had been rescued twice by the fire department and 3 times by the police. Sandy and Max, the same police officers who'd rescued the kittens last week, climbed out of their patrol car to check me out. They frowned. They searched the lawn for clues. They talked to passerbys and took photos. Bongo, I whispered. I'm an official crime scene. She was not amused. The owner of the houses, and therefore technically of me, was the one who called the police. Francesca, tall and thin, with short, dove-gray hair, lived across the street. The blue and green houses had belonged to her family for generations. So the girl across the street owns the green and blue houses, and she rents them out to different families. With a grim look on her face, Francesca strode across the street to talk to the police. Lewis and Clark squirmed in her arms. That tree, Francesca said to Sandy, who was taking notes on a little pad, it's been nothing but trouble for as long as I can remember. Francesca has never been the sentimental sort. She likes cats more than trees. To each your own. I happen to like trees more than cats. Oh, but people love the Wishtree, said Sandy. She looked me up and down. Although I imagine it's a lot of work for you. Every year, the day after Wishing Day, I swear I'm going to cut that thing down, Francesca said. It was true, but I knew Francesca didn't mean it. She and I went way back. The cleanup isn't the worst of it, Francesca continued. The things people wish for, the craziness. Last year, someone wrote, I wish for a chocolate spaghetti in permanent marker on a pair of underwear. Tossed it way up high. Chocolate spaghetti, Sandy said. I could get behind that. Craziness, I tell you, Francesca stared at me. It's just a tree after all. Just a tree. Just a tree seemed a tad unfair, but Francesca looked tired and angry, so I tried not to take it personally. Sandy closed her notebook. People believe they want to believe about trees. She stared at the newly carved word. About people, too. What now? Francesca asked. Don't know, Sandy said. The tree belongs to you, not the new family, and you've been here forever. Francesca smiled sadly. Suppose it could be me they're hoping will leave. They watched Max place a circle of yellow crime scene tape near my trunk, using metal stakes. Don't think so, Francesca, Sandy said. Max joined them. He stroked the kittens, who purred loudly. One problem, in terms of prosecuting anyone, he said, is the history of this tree. It's almost May. When people leave their wishes or whatever, hard to say for sure this isn't a part of the whole, tradition thing, he shrugged. That's assuming we figure out who did this, mind you. People are supposed to make their wishes on a ragged piece of paper, not carve it into the trunk, Francesca said. That's why, back in Ireland, they called these raggy trees. Nowadays, a lot of people just tie a tag around a branch and write their nutty wishes, she shrugged. In any case, leave is not a wish, it's a threat. Dun dun dun. It certainly is, Max agreed. Francesca nodded at the cracked and buckled walkways leading to both houses. Tell you one thing, Wishtree or not, this oak is destroying the walkways. Messing with the plumbing, too. Roots go on forever. She shook her head. Maybe it really is time to cut it down. No more leaves to rake, no more wishing day mess, no more of this unkindness. Lewis leapt from Francesca's grasp and dashed for my trunk. Sandy tackled him just in time. See the crime scene tape and the kittens trying to get up the tree. Well, we'll finish up our investigation in a day or two and be out of your hair, Max said. Then you'll be free to do whatever you want with the tree. You know, Francesca said, taking Lewis and Sandy from Sandy, my father almost cut this tree down years ago. My mother wasn't having it. Family lore is some such thing. Soft-hearted nonsense, she sighed. Guess it's up to me. Meantime, you keep us posted if anything else happens, Sandy advised. Francesca headed across the lawn, holding the kittens close. Leave, she murmured. What a word. What a world we live in. So now we got some more problems happening. We're going to have to stop there. Those are some longer chapters. So we'll pick up on chapter 16 tomorrow. But now there's the threat that they might be getting rid of the tree. They might cut it down. And we need to figure out who wrote the word leave in there. Obviously, we need to know what something means. So check in tomorrow, and we'll find out what happened. Mr. Waldo Chesser out.